Welcome back to another exclusive video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about why relationships fail. More specifically, what is it that we do as men to cause this to happen? And I wanted to give you some insight into that. And I really believe that this video is going to help you. So let's get right into the video. Number one reason why relationships fail is because when you enter into a relationship with a woman, you enter into a marriage, you get engaged, you're really taking this woman seriously. You begin to get into this relationship with this particular female that you have designated as the one. In that process of designating her as the one, has putting her on a quote unquote pedestal, not above yourself, not above God, but above every other female, right? You're picking her, you're choosing her out of the many. You set your love, you set your affections, your intent is on this particular female, which is okay. But what happens is when you enter into that relationship as a man, you begin to slowly idolize this female. You begin to idolize this female. And here's one of the major ways you can see how you begin to idolize this female. And this is when the things that she wants and desires begins to chip away at the person, at the essence of who you are. You begin to idolize her. And when you begin to idolize a female, what happens is your standards, they begin to drop. What standards? Your positions, your belief in God, your ideals, right? Your worldview, all of these things begin to suffer. Why? Because you want to appease this woman. You want to make her happy, right? And you start believing the lies that society tells you. One of the major lies is this, is that a happy wife equals a happy life. That is a lie from the pits of hell. So what happens is men are being indoctrinated with false ideas. Everywhere you go, happy wife, happy life, happy wife, happy life, happy wife, happy life. At what expense, at what cost does her happiness cause you to begin to deteriorate as a man? I see it all the time. I've experienced this myself. And the thing is, it's tricky because in your mind, you wouldn't say that you're idolizing this woman. You wouldn't say that you're putting her on a pedestal. You can't detect it, right? But the way it starts is very subtle. It's a little compromise here. It's a little compromise there. It's a little compromise here. It's a little compromise there. You don't want to hear her talk. You don't want to hear her upset, right? You don't want to deal with the consequences of the energy she is going to give you if you don't do X, Y, and Z. So what happens is females, whether consciously or subconsciously, they begin to emotionally manipulate you. How is that? They begin to cry. They begin to get into the feminine in a very emotional place. And what does that do? It will extract the masculinity out of you. You will begin to feel sorry for her. You will begin to want to protect her. You will begin to want to make her happy, not make her cry. Right? And you start believing the hype, and it's something that your position that you took, it was the right stance. But you allowed the emotional manipulation to cause you to compromise. And you do that once, you do it twice, you do it 1 year, you do it 2 years. Over time, this stuff adds up to now where you're not even a man of principles anymore because you've given in to any and everything that this woman has cried for, has begged for, has pleaded for. She's taken everything away from you. You haven't been able to move forward, right? And here's what happens, guys. I give you an example, right? Maybe she wants to take a trip or go on a vacation. Maybe she wants to buy a dress. Maybe she wants to keep up with the Joneses because your other friends are doing things that you guys are not doing. But you understand the financial aspects of where you're going, where you need to be, and what you need to do. But she's allowing the outside noise, the outside advertisements of what life is supposed to be. She's allowing that to create an urgency in her to get you to give it now as opposed to waiting to have it later. And what happens is you compromise yourself financially because Susie has a new car. So you got to go out and get her a new car. Or Jenny's boyfriend allows her to go shopping. He gives her $1,000 per month free spending money. So she's telling you that because now she wants to guilt you into doing the same thing. And what happens is you give it to her, you give in, you cave. She rewards you for it sexually. She slobs that knob. She chokes that chicken for you. She's doing somersaults, windmills, and she dancing on that thing, right? And you're like, oh, wow, I'm being rewarded for good behavior. She pats you on the head like you're a little dog, right? And now she's training you, whether subconsciously or consciously, she's training you through rewarding you for good behavior and punishing you for bad behavior. So what's the punishment? Obviously, the opposite. She's not going to slob that knob. When you slide up in her, she's not going to moan and make those noises and show you that you're the man, that you're handling your business. She's going to hold back from you emotionally, sexually, affection. She's going to hold these things back. And that's punishing you for actually trying to be a man and stand on your principles, right? As a man, you have to be able to lead and not be a follower. But here's what happens when you allow yourself to start idolizing this woman. You will begin to make these compromises. And then what happens is after you made so many compromises, and I'm just using this one example of like a financial example because I think it's clear and easy for you to understand, but there's many other examples. Use this one compromise, right? You've been compromising this. And then it comes time to do something major, like to buy a house, right? Or you need to make a move, or you need to do something drastic, or you should be a certain place in life and you're not there because you've been taking advantage of these incremental little pleasures, right? And you believe the lie of what you saw the Joneses do, and you fell into that trap, and now you can't make that move. Now you have to work this job that you don't want to work, or now you have to take this disrespect that you don't want to take because financially you're not there because you compromise yourself to make this woman happy so she can have a Louis purse, so she can have the Louis flip-flops, so she can have the design, whatever the case may be. You granted her that temporary pleasure. And when things go awry and things don't work out and you can't deliver, guess what happens? She blames you. She blames you for not being a good leader. But she was punishing you for sticking to your guns and looking out for her and the family to get you guys to a place where you can be financially independent or you could be in a better situation. She blames you for it, right? Now she's looking down on you as a man. So you're getting blamed. You're getting blamed and you're taking the brunt of the situation, taking the blunt of the blame for not being able to progress in life more easily when all along you had a plan. But what happened? And this is where we can't blame the woman. We begin to idolize and we begin to give into the emotional manipulation. Why did we do that? Where there's idolization, there's fear. Fear is present. When you fear losing something that you believe is valuable, you will begin to idolize, and your actions will actually change and conform to do things to prevent loss of what you're idolizing. Because of fear. The Bible says God hasn't given you the spirit of fear, but power and love and a sound mind. You have to have the ability to be able to show your woman the bigger picture. So she understands that, no, we don't follow the Joneses. No, we're not going to do what they do, because I guarantee you, if you listen to me, we'll be 10 years ahead of them. And you'll be thanking me. You'll be thanking me that I had a plan, that I was consistent. Guys, don't idolize women. Don't give in to emotional manipulation and lose yourself, because that's where your relationship is going to go bad. That's where you're going to find yourself in divorce court. That's where you're going to find yourself separated. Stick to your guns. She will respect you. I promise you that. She will respect you. But you have to respect yourself first, and you have to keep your faith and trust in God, and do not allow the spirit of fear to come in and overtake you, man. I hope you got value out of this video. I'm going to holler at you in the next one. Peace.